Very good morning to everyone. The Chancellor of USTM, Hawk Saab, the former Director of AIMS, Dr. Dekka, the Vice Chancellor of NIHU, Professor Srivastavaji, the Vice Chancellor of USTM, Dr. P.K. Goswami, my colleague, local MLA of Jirang constituency, Mr. Sostenes Sotun, all the dignitaries who are present on the dais, all the professors and lecturers and staff of USTM, all the students who have passed out today, all faculty members, and all my dear friends. We had actually planned to have this program quite some time back, but because of different situations and our governor, we had a new governor in our state. So the program ultimately happened to be today. But I guess it's all God's plan, because 8th of September is International Literacy Day, and today happens to be your convocation. So I think what more a beautiful day to have the convocation program and having it on the International Literacy Day. So I take this opportunity to first of all congratulate all the students that have passed out today. It is a great moment for you, I'm sure, and also for your parents equally. And I think it's a great moment for the university and the great moment for your teachers, your professors who have worked equally hard to ensure that you have come to this point today and passing out from this great university. And I'm sure that one person who's most excited is obviously Mr. Hawk Saab, and he has been a very dear friend for a long time. As he was mentioning that this university came up in 2008, and we happened to be in the government at that time. And it just feels like yesterday that this particular bill was passed and the university came up. And I still remember my late father, Mr. P.S. Sangma, and our Honorable Chief Minister then, Dr. Don Koparoy, discussing about this project. And of course, not to forget Mr. Manas Chaudhary, who was then the Education Minister. And I think all of them played a very, very important role in making this university happen. And I think we must thank the three of them. They really put in a lot of effort that time. And obviously, the man behind the whole thing, Mr. Hawk, who has been a great source of inspiration, I should say, for a lot of people in our state. And today, USTM is the best private university that we have, not just in Meghalaya, but I think in the entire northeastern region. And I think we all deserve to really appreciate, we should appreciate the efforts that have been made by the Vice Chancellor, by the Chancellor, Mr. Hawk, and I congratulate you for all the efforts that you've put in to make this university really great. I was sitting next to Dr. Dekka, and he might not remember, of course, because I was very small, very young earlier. And when he was director in AIMS, I used to always call him up for a number of issues with constituency people having to go for checkup and all. And I must tell you, I was very happy. He was very responsive to the people of the Northeast especially, and he really helped us a lot during those times. and I was sitting with him, and when the award for the undergraduate best student came up, Dr. Decker did not, smile or shake hands with anybody. But when the undergraduate best student, the P.S. Sangma award came up, he was so excited, he got up and he shook hands because he said, finally, another Decker is there. So he was very excited about it. The reason I'm saying this is because the undergrad best student was Decker. So professor was very excited when that happened. But let me tell you that, of course, the people who have got the gold medal, I congratulate each and every one of you. But I think all of you are winners here today. And all of you are gold medalists, for me at least. And I think each one of you should never underestimate yourself. And today you should go out of here knowing that you are and you have achieved something really great in life. But remember that you have more, as Shivastavaji was saying, miles to go. And the real challenge starts now. It's college days. I remember my college days also. And most probably, like all of us would say, was one of the best days. And, then you come into the real life and real world, and then the challenges come in. And I must repeat what others have continuously been telling you, that it is very important to remember that you should never get down because of failure or because of defeat in life. And I think if I were to give you any kind of advice today and to speak from my heart, I would tell you that failure is only when you give up. You'll never fail. I've contested 5 times in my election and I've lost twice. And I'll tell you, I never thought of it as a loss. And I always used to look at that particular situation and I should tell myself, where did I go wrong? And what can I do to make things better? And how can I get up again and improve and improve myself so that I can become a better person? And I'll tell you, the defeats and the failures at that point, I think were the greatest teachers in my life and in my career till now. And I have learned the most in my life after failing and after losing the elections. And I think it's important for each one of you to remember that there will be tough times for you. And you might start now and you will fail. And I assure you, you will fail in some areas. An important thing to do, remember, is to never give up. And I think once you start doing that, that is when you'll become real gold medalists, and that's when you'll become real winners. And I think that is the most important thing in life, which I want to tell you. I also want to talk about education here, because education is something that's very important to, at least to me. And I have been saying it again and again that, education will be almost like at the forefront of what we do. Our government, in fact, has put the highest budget for education. At the same time, we also have really very, very quickly moved to create a education policy, and especially keeping in mind the fast changing scenario of education and the innovations that are coming into education system. We are working on a very robust education policy, and I'm happy to tell you that the draft is ready. In fact, yesterday in the cabinet meeting, we sat for almost an hour and we went through the entire presentation of the education policy. And I hope within this month's time, we'll be able to release the education policy. And that will be a great milestone for our government. We have had our statehood for almost 46, 47 years. And till now, Meghalaya had not been able to come out with an education policy. And yes, in this education policy, higher technical education is one of the important aspects of higher and technical education. I cannot give out all the aspects of that at this point, but I can tell you one of the areas of stress in that education policy, especially in terms of higher and technical education, is going to be on the quality of the higher and technical education. I'm very saddened to see that there are a number of private universities that have come up, in our state. And I can tell you, most of them are really not doing a good job. And we are very, very discouraged to see the kind of work that's going on in some of the universities, the private universities that were given by the state. And I can tell you that we are going to take firm action in those regards. And to ensure that these kind of things don't happen in the future, to ensure that only serious people and serious players and people who really want to selflessly, give back and work for education sector, only those institutes and organizations should be, brought into the picture and given the, the bill and the right to start an education center. And that is one of the aspects in our education policy which will ensure that whatever we do, whatever institutes that come up in the future should be institutes with good intention and with good, aspect of quality attached to it. Another area of importance which I always keep telling everybody, and I think Mr. Hawk and I have been discussing about this a lot also, is really the connectivity of institutes with governance and policy. And I think this aspect has not been done much in the past. We have very good institutes, we have very good professors and researchers, but we always find that government policy is made by people like me, or the bureaucrats who, are intelligent people, but may not know the subject as well as a person who's been studying and researching it throughout his or her life. So I think it's important for government to ensure that in policy making, there has to be a very close coordination between research institutes and government policy making. We're very concerned about the environment, and we want to really make sure that the environment is protected even now and in the future. There should be mitigation policy should come out, there should be adaptation policy that should come out. But sadly, for the past many years, all these ideas have been only discussed in the secretariat and among officials, sitting in the room, who know a bit but not enough. So I think it is just an example I'm saying, but in the long run it's very important. My point being that it's important to ensure that the research and the ideas and the knowledge that these institutes have must be used for proper government policy making. And I think if this combination is there, only then can we make sound policy, detailed study and researched policy. And I think that is going to help us a lot in the future. And we have been discussing with Hawk Saab about this, he was mentioning about the pineapple and the jackfruit and other agriculture products that they're working on. We have started a jackfruit mission, and we want organizations to work with us to tell us how we could, further go into jackfruit mission and what more we could do with things like with the jackfruit, what processing we could do. Government is working very hard now to go into natural fibers, and we are very keen. We feel that there is a huge scope for natural fiber. Just an example to give you, there's something called Remi. I think some of you might know, some of you might not know. It's a material, it's natural fiber, and it grows extensively in our state. And today, a lot of companies that make clothing with this natural fiber called Remi, they import almost close to 2,400 crores worth of Remi from China. So here lies an opportunity where our people, our researchers, and our policymakers and our entrepreneurs, as was being mentioned by Dr. Decker, could actually come together and seize this opportunity. We import bamboo worth 1 lakh crores every year. Can you imagine India imports 1 lakh crores worth of bamboo? And Northeast is so rich in bamboo and so many things we can do with it. And here also, of course, we are tying up with Taiwan, and we're trying to get their technology because Taiwan is one of the best in the world, and of course China is. But we're trying to tie up with them and bring this technology so that our young entrepreneurs can actually link up with this. So what I'm trying to say is that there's huge opportunity that exists, and I think if the research and the students, the entrepreneurs, the policymakers, I think if there is a connection and there is an initiative and there's a movement towards it, I think there'll be a we will be able to see a huge economic boom in our region. I think that's important. We'll be able to see sound policy making in our region. And I think that's what is important. Institutes should not be just limited to giving degrees. It's important, I understand that. And that's what primarily you're doing. And we must continue doing that, but I think there is a scope and there's an opportunity beyond that also. And I think we really need to look at that. I was very happy when Dr. Decker mentioned about the fact that youngsters must not just be job seekers, but you must be job creators. And I am a firm believer of entrepreneurship. I am a person who has always believed that government should be limited as only a policy making, policy making, and limited to a catalyst who would allow the entrepreneurs to boom. The economy can only grow if young people or old people also go into entrepreneurship. You look at any developed nation, any developed country, it is the entrepreneurs who drive the growth engine of the country. It is never the government. The government will always have its limited role for creating the infrastructure, making the policies, making it friendly for people to start these businesses, creating the ecosystem and environment, and allowing you to take control and move the engine forward. So I think I also would like to take this opportunity to encourage all our youngsters to be enterprising. I would also encourage you always, and I keep repeating this wherever I go because I believe in this, is that you must never be scared to take risks in your life. And I think this most probably is the best time in your life when you can afford to take risks. Maybe after 10 years you might be scared. I wouldn't be as risk-taking today in my life as I was maybe 20 years back. And I think it's important. I was an entrepreneur. I started my entrepreneurship career when I was 19, 20, 21 years old. And if I think and look back, I'll tell you, I'll be scared to do the things I used to do then. And I think, but you can afford to do it because you have the time to even fail and learn and get back again. And that's a fact of life. So take the risk. That does not mean bad risks. It means calculated risks in your life. It's very, very important that you must be risk takers. You must be having the guts to take risk and to try out things. And maybe you'll fail, but then you get up and you start again. And that's how life will be in the future for you. And I really encourage all of you. There's a huge opportunity for our region. I keep telling everybody that government always talks about Act East policy. But you really go deep into it, there is truly a huge hidden, treasure in this particular aspect. I think all of you know that before independence, when this whole region was won, the per capita income of the people of the Northeast used to be the highest in the whole country. It is only when we started having the geographical borders that came in and the trade was restricted, that's when the economy out here started going down. So therefore, and this is where the government comes in, if tomorrow policies can be created, infrastructure can be created, networking can be done, I think the opportunity will come up. I always am advocating that there must be link to Chittagong port, direct from Guwahati via Shillong, Dauki, Silhet down to Chittagong, because it's hardly 700 kilometers compared to 1,500 kilometers going down to Kolkata. I am advocating that we must have a connectivity that will go from the tip of Meghalaya, which is a place called Mahendraganj, and connected to the tip of one place called Hili in West Bengal, which is a distance of hardly 100 kilometers. But you'll be able to save more than 700 kilometers by connecting these two dots and these two tips of Mahendraganj and Hili. And the economic boom that can take place because of that reduction in thing. And not only that, it'll open on 3-4 corridors. And for our state of Meghalaya, it's a massive, massive opportunity. So there are so many things that will work. But then, as I said, we create the infrastructure, we create the policies, but it is you who has to pick up and drive the policies ahead. And I think that is very important, and I really encourage you. And I can go on and on. I'm so sorry. I take up, I get excited when I see, especially youngsters, but you have to forgive me. I had a written speech out here, but I was thinking I'll read the written speech because everything was so formal. I got a bit scared and nervous in the beginning. So, but then when I came on stage and I saw all of you, I forgot to read the speech. So I'm so sorry. But I can tell you, I just was skimming through the different points out here, and I can tell you, again, I'm coming back to Mr. Hawk because I really want to thank him for what he's been doing and the kind of contribution he's made to the people of Northeast and the society as a whole. You know, the fact that USTM, what differentiates USTM most probably from any other private university that we have, and maybe also other central universities around, is the fact that USTM and Hoxab have that human touch, most probably that others don't have. And I think that is what differentiates USTM today. And when the human touch comes in, you see, everything changes. You don't look at giving degrees. You see, you look at creating responsible citizens tomorrow. You look at changing the lives of the young generation. You know, so everything, your whole concept and the perception of how you look at education, how you look at running an education institution, changes when you have that human touch. That's how I believe even in governance. I tell my people, if you think that you're going to do a job, a government job, and if you think that you have to sit in office and you have to clear those files, most probably you will never do justice to the work you're doing. But the day you feel that I'm here to change the lives of our people, of our state, I'm here to help as many people as I can. I know I cannot help everybody. When that human touch comes in, you really, your mind changes. And then you realize that you're not here just to sign files, but you're here to change the lives of your people. And I think that is the human touch that I see in USTM all the time. It's not just in the kind of, scholarships they give. You know, that's just one part of it. But the enthusiasm I see, the passion that I see in Hoxab is something that I really, truly admire. And I like people who are really passionate about what they do. And because I believe that it is only passion that can give that drive and motivation to you to really, go through even in the most difficult times. He told you how he started his career with just a computer and hardly 85 rupees. I mean, who would think that here would be with 6,000 students? It's purely the passion to really change their lives. And I think, in years to come, when all of you are in big position, in different, running your own companies, or maybe running a state or running a government, you'll remember Hoxab and how he made a difference in your life. And not just him, in fact, entire USTM and the staff out here, how they changed your lives and what they meant. So what I want to urge to all of you is also to continue that human touch in whatever you do in your life. Never think of a job or a work as a routine thing. You must always be passionate about what you do. You must always have that human touch in whatever you do. And that is the only way that you will get through the failures in life. That's the only way you'll be able to succeed in life, is to ensure that there's a human touch and there is passion in what you do. With these few words, I once again take this opportunity to congratulate all the students who have passed out today. As I said, all of you are gold medalists for me. Of course, the gold medalists are gold medalists, but each and every one of you has come out successful today. So never underestimate yourself, and I wish and I pray that Almighty God will always guide you in all your work, in your life, and always remember God in your life. Which, I keep telling young students all the time that we always, forget, and we always remember God only during examinations. But it's important to thank God in every step of your life, and I encourage you to do that. Your parents and your staff and your friends who have been with you should always be with them. And once again, I congratulate USTM for this wonderful program and the wonderful work they're doing. There are many more projects I'm hoping will come up. I can assure you that from our government side, there will be full support for all the different kind of works and initiatives that are being taken by your organization, because we have seen the kind of commitment, the human touch and the passion that you have. And we would love to take this further and partner with you. I keep telling every single businessman or person who comes to me saying, sir, can you help me with this work? I said that I will only help you if you agree to partner with my state. I don't want you to come here as a businessman. I want you to come here as a partner. Because a businessman will come and he will get his profit and go away. But a partner will always be with us through difficult times and through good times. And yes, you will earn your money, there's no problem. But the mindset should be to always partner with us. So I know that USTM is not here just for education. They are here to partner in the growth story of our state and to partner in the growth story of our region of the Northeast. And I'm very sure that one day, not just India, globally also, USTM will be a very bright, shining star in the education field. So with these few words, once again, I congratulate each and every one of you, and I wish each and every one of you, and may God bless each and every one of you. Thank you so much. Kublai Shibun, Muthela, Jai Hind.